put on your seatbelt. Let's go.
All right, turn up the music.
There's a killer on the loose. Look out, he's right behind you. He won't give me the ice. I'm scared, but I'm fighting back. We are the scream queens, running through the night. We are the scream queens, gonna put up a fight, make everything alright. Floating through.
Welcome to Scream Queens Horror Road Trip Podcast. That's your final girl, Miss Justine, and I am your sole survivor, Mr. Josh. And that was a very special scream, wasn't it, Justine?
Let me clear my
It
throat.
sounded louder than ever.
I gave it my all because that's what you do when you're headed to Frightmare!
Woo! We're heading to Texas Frightmare Weekend. This is our 8th trip around the sun. I mean, our 8th trip to Frightmare.
Because it's actually been longer than 8 years because of the pandemic.
Yes, we went 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We all know what happened then. Then we went 21, 22, now 23. You add it up, that's 8. This is our 8th Frightmare, y'all.
8. Count it. We just did. That's what we just did.
We counted it.
We counted it.
And it's 8.
It's 8.
We know maths.
Okay, so we're in Texas. We're headed south on I-35. We're heading to not the DFW air. I know, because I know you, listener. I know you were like, oh, they're headed to the DFW. No, we're not. We're not headed to the DFW airport. Not this
No.
time. Not the Hyatt Regency.
You sound angry about it, too. You're being, like, very aggressive right now about not staying.
I don't
Are you
necessarily-
mad about it or sad about it?
I'm
Or a
neither
little
of
both?
those. I'm just really excited.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Excitement rings true.
My power enthusiasm is coming off as aggression, but that's not it at all. That's not at all it.
But you're right though. We're not going to Dallas Fort Worth, which has been like our summer camp, our horror summer camp home, the last 7 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, it has. But instead, we're just gonna go to Irving, Texas, and that's not an airport.
No, we're not going to be in the airport. We're not going to be surrounded by flights coming and going, which we loved. We always had great views. It was really neat. But this is going to be totally different. Not everybody is staying in this hotel. There's about 3 convention hotels around the convention center in Irving, and we're staying at the one kind of like the closest, and I think we got a good spot. I'm happy
Yes.
about where we're staying. It's the Westin Inn right next to the convention center.
It's in walking distance of a lot of restaurants. There's a restaurant there at the hotel. Of course, it's walking distance from the convention center. We've never been to this convention center. I don't know what we're getting ourselves into, but I'm really excited to just see it all.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. It's going to be a totally different experience. I suspect that we will be in a hotel full of convention goers, which will make me very happy because that's one of the things I loved about the last location is that everybody stayed there. The convention area was in the basement. I mean, I know that makes it sound small, but it was vast and huge and sprawling. This does seem to be a way bigger space, so that will be interesting. Hopefully it won't be so like shoulder to shoulder. I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
find
we might
out.
not be packed in like sardines sometimes or waiting for the elevator for like 20 minutes.
Trying to get up to your room.
Yeah. I mean, we did learn pretty quickly on to go ahead and just get like close to the floor level hotel room because
Take the stairs.
it takes forever with the elevator. So the 13th floor was not manageable
No.
all these years.
That was fun when we got the 13th floor and added the spooky, but who knows? Maybe we'll get the 13th floor at the Westin Inn.
If they have one,
If they have one.
don't
Might
know.
go 12 to 14 like a lot of places.
But it's like I think it's just going to have like a different kind of summer camp feel. Like we're off in our own cabins and then we all come together for like tabernacle or whatever.
Yeah, it's not going to feel as closed in. Like the convention center, that's the only thing. It's going to feel like other conventions. That's the thing I'm afraid of is I hope the charm isn't stripped away by it being in this vast, big, open space. It used to be kind of fun. Like there would be different convention rooms to go in at the last one. And I think that will be the case in some ways here, but I think for the most part, most of the vendors and celebrities are all in one big room.
Yes, like a big open
Yes.
area. Another thing to note is this episode is coming to you in June instead of the usual May Frightmare episode, and that's just because of scheduling. Like,
Yeah, we suspect, it was they lost their contract, or their contract ended with the airport, and the airport is expanding, doing a lot of terminal growth that is going to close down sections of the airport parking, and that was like a big thing. It was going to really affect parking at the airport, so they found this convention center, and so they had to go with a different date.
Yes. Well, now that we've explained to you all of that, let's get into who is who at the convention.
Let's go ahead and just spill our beans.
Yeah,
Spill the beans.
I'm gonna spill my bean.
Maybe not my beans, but the beans.
I'm gonna spill the bean. The one legume in question is none other than John Carpenter, the mastermind of horror.
Yeah, Mr. Halloween himself. We wouldn't have Michael Myers if it wasn't for John Carpenter. We wouldn't have The Fog. We wouldn't have They Live. We wouldn't have The Thing. We wouldn't have Body Bag. Is that right? Body Bag.
Yeah. What is it? Welcome to New York, or what is that?
Escape from New York. Escape to LA.
LA, yes. Those
Escape
are
from
so
New York.
fun.
Yeah, like he's a master of the genre and a master
Of your heart?
filmmaker in general. People outside of this genre respect him so much.
Yes.
And he's also an accomplished musician. He wrote the theme to Halloween, and amongst other things.
And we haven't yet covered only one
Halloween.
Carpenter. We've covered Christine.
Yeah, and we're going to see the cast of Christine there.
So that's a little full circle for our podcast.
Yeah, if you remember, we went to
Cadillac Ranch?
Yeah, Cadillac Ranch in Amarillo.
Yes.
And covered that movie.
Christine.
About a Plymouth.
Yeah, it was like not the same car,
Classic
but
car
classic car.
connection.
Yeah. So check that episode out because it's a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. That's the episode we had like a crazy giggle fit in. Do you remember that?
Yes, she's beauty and she's grace.
And for some reason that just got to
You
me, and I could
handle
not
it when I said that. You
contain
lost
myself.
control.
So if you want to hear us have like a 2-minute giggle fit where we couldn't rein it back in, you can listen to that one.
Yeah, check it out. It's a lot of fun. That movie is incredibly fun and genius. A lot of like fun camera work along with just reversing, like, that technique of filming things in reverse.
Yeah, and it's so seamless when the car is like going from being like crushed, going back to normal. And yeah, that's a Carpenter. That's a Carpenter movie that I don't think gets as much respect as it deserves, because I think it's really one of his best. It's so well made.
Yes.
And so compelling and fun and weird and very
it's just
Stephen
like a
King
story
also.
of like friendship. Yeah, definitely a Stephen King through and through.
It was a
kind
good
of story.
mix. The two together, that combo is great. So yeah, it'll be fun to see them, the Christine cast, with John Carpenter.
Yes.
And there's also They Live. Who from They Live is going to be there? Because Roddy McDowell, he passed, I think, last year. David, also the guy from The Thing.
Yeah, well, because there are
A lot of Carpenter reunions.
There's 3 or 4 different panels of different Carpenter reunion, and then there's also
A Halloween.
Killer Clowns. There's Halloween, and then Sam Raimi's there. So
Sam Raimi. Like, that's another huge
yes,
get.
Terrifier team. There's David Howard Thornton, who plays Art the Clown, and then Damien Leone, he's back.
Yeah,
so
we're gonna take pictures with them on Saturday. He's gonna be in his full Art the Clown makeup. It's gonna be kind of scary. But
we
I'm ready for it.
love Terrifier. Terrifier 2 was gruesome and fantastic and
Yeah.
hilarious.
It's everything you want in a movie.
And I do think we did mention previously at Frightmare when we got to see that first 15, but we got to see 15 minutes of Terrifier 2 before anyone got that
Yes.
world premiere. And then since then we've seen Terrifier 2, and it was so much fun in the theater to witness other people kind of responding to that type of gore.
People walking out. It's like a 2.5 hour like splatter epic, basically.
It's got a great final girl and just some pretty iconic makeup effects going on.
Crazy. For sure. Check it out.
And so we are going to get a picture with Art the Clown.
And the
We
director.
are doing a picture with John Carpenter.
That's right. And we're stressed about that
It's
because, okay,
kind of a big
we're doing our picture on Sunday, and we're Group A for John Carpenter at 12 o'clock. We're also supposed to get in the VIP line at 12 o'clock for John Carpenter. So how's that supposed to work? I guess we'll go take our picture, and then we'll go get in the VIP line, because apparently if he's still doing pictures, he won't be doing autographs yet. So I think they're just lining up the VIPs
Yes,
early.
and we want our picture.
And we had to do
sign.
we had to do a lottery to figure out which day we could get in his line.
And so that's happy that we
Yeah, that we're at
got
least
the picture, and then
before.
we'll be able to get the autograph and not like that weird reverse where we might not have had the opportunity.
get him to sign our pictures.
Yeah, so we've got these cute little pumpkin Haddonfield Halloween sweatshirts
Yeah, they're
to
kind
wear.
of like that heather gray with like, kind of a vintage, like Haddonfield 1977 Halloween. Almost like a little advertisement for the town, Halloween.
It's super cute, and we're gonna be all matchy-matchy.
Got it on Etsy.
Wearing those. And
Yeah.
for that, we're gonna find, we didn't have, but we also want to be cutesy-matchy for art.
Yeah, for Terrifier tomorrow. So we're going to try to find some Terrifier tees or something tonight.
Yes. I imagine since they're there, that we're gonna have a lot of merch to look through. I want an Art the Clown shirt. Or like
I would like that as
pullover
well.
or something. Let's do it.
We're going to find it, damn
We're gonna
it.
find it.
We'll let you know how that all works out.
Okay, but we would be remiss if we didn't mention right now that the iconic Tom Savini will be there.
He has never missed a Frightmare since we've been going. And it's always fun to see him. It's like, almost like Where's Waldo? It's like, spot Tom Savini. Spot Savini.
Spot Savini.
Yeah.
And, he used to be very known for, spotting at the bar or at breakfast, so...
Yeah. That's how we
Wondering
overheard
now-
one time how much money he made
Yes.
one weekend. We were like, oh.
He was just kind of talking to somebody at his table about how much he'd pulled in. But knowing that, there are other hotels, and how are the celebs going to be all spread out, the guests?
Yeah,
Where are they staying? Are they all going to stay hubbed up in one place?
Yeah, are they going to be spread out? If you guys are frequent listeners and listen to our Frightmare episodes every year, you know one of our big delights and one of our wonders and mysteries is which celebrities are we going to get in the elevator with, because it happens no matter what, especially if you're staying at that hotel. You're going up and down, you're liable to be in the elevator with them at some point. We always do, but
It's just the closest proximity, other than taking a picture and getting an autograph that you might be with some of them, even that you didn't plan on seeing.
it's always like a funny, awkward, surreal little moment where you're like, oh, I'm in an elevator with Academy Award nominee Brad Dourif, voice of Chucky, and
And Lord of the Rings,
Lord of the Rings, and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That's where he got his nomination.
The Exorcist 3.
Yeah. So that guy's legend.
And we're going to be covering The Exorcist 3 this summer.
I think the most surreal one was our first Frightmare when we were in the elevator with the twins from The Shining.
Oh my gosh, and that was just kind of okay, well, there's an elevator in The Shining, and
Yeah,
here
it was
we are
just
with
funny.
them.
And I tried to snap a pic, but I only got you with one of them
One
in
of
the
them,
picture.
yeah. And so, but we made memories
Yeah.
in those elevators. We saw Tara Reid in
Misha
the elevator.
Barton.
I tried to get Nev Campbell cornered in an elevator once, but I just didn't have the guts to go through with it.
Yeah, you would have creeped her out.
I would have, and I wouldn't have wanted that to be our moment.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I don't blame you.
that meet cute needed, you know, something else. It didn't need to be forced. It'll happen naturally.
If you guys listened to last year's episode, we had the most delightful time with Nev Campbell.
Yes, and so it did. It ended up having its moment a few years later. I wouldn't have had it any other way.
Yeah.
Tonight, so we're going to check in. We're going to check into the hotel, and then we're going to wander over and check in and get our VIP bags and swag. And then we're going inside the convention, and we'll get to see all the merch where we have a special hour, VIP guests special hour before it opens up generally.
That's right. We get in 1 hour earlier because we could.
Because we special.
Because we were sitting there like refreshing our computer trying to get those VIP tickets.
Because we special.
Oh, because we special.
We are very important people.
We're very important.
So the very important
because we paid
people,
to be very important.
They're going in a whole hour before the people.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to classify them as unimportant people.
But
Just
they're just people. We just happen to be very important.
We paid for the VI. Paid for the VI.
Just kidding. I mean, but am I?
We're going to go in. We'll get kind of like first dibs of merch and get a look and see of where the layout, what it's going to look like, where everyone's sorted.
Yeah, we got to figure out which panels we're going to do.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Panels.
we've kind of already figured out the panels, panels.
Panels.
But what we really are having to figure out, guys, because we have an outside pool and a hot tub.
God, when are we going to fit all this in?
We've got to fit in all this water time,
and then we
too.
brought like horror board games, so we got to try to make some friends to play games with us.
And you know we brought drinks on drinks on drinks on drinks because we like to get a little Frightmare schwasty face.
Sometimes we need that liquid courage to go up to your favorite person at 11 a.m. and be like, hi!
Exactly. It's nothing like 10:30 in the morning and you're one of the first ones.
For Nev Campbell. And
you, or
Tom
Atkins.
Oh, he loved that
and
we were
he
drinking
loved
whiskey
me.
that morning.
He loved me. He said I was his kind of woman because I had a whiskey and Diet Coke at 10:30 in the morning.
Oh, Lord.
And
it's going to be that kind of weekend.
That's not an everyday thing for me.
No.
So I'm fine.
This is Frightmare,
This
damn
is
it.
Frightmare. So we're going to get schwasty first.
And then we'll be asleep by 10.
And exactly. I mean,
we'll
we
miss
don't
the parties.
know. Yeah,
because
we don't know how to.
No.
We will go to the Halloween in Haddonfield party, but we'll go. I'm not saying we're staying. We're just going to go be playing for a second.
Yeah. And there's always
walk through.
Lots of screenings. Sometimes we hit those up. Like we hit that Fulci one that time and saw the
but it's like
bird
the
with the crystal plumage.
Tonight is at 10:30, and I feel like I'm going to be full REM cycle by that.
Especially if we do it shots.
Yes,
shots.
Because I know me. I am a solid day drinker, guys. I want to be 12 p.m. No, 11 a.m. is good for me on, and then by 5, I'm probably figuring out dinner and asleep by 7 p.m.
Yeah.
That's the good life.
That's nice.
That's the best life. So we're going to, but today is like check in, get those first looks, map it all out. Then we are going to have ourselves a spot of dinner somewhere.
Yeah,
we got
the hotel.
Walking distance to a lot of restaurants, but we do have that hotel restaurant.
Hopefully some room service.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we call it in, pick it up at the restaurant, or if they have room service. Maybe we do a little hot tubbing tonight.
Yeah, we like a little roomy service. You know, Grogu loves his chicken nuggies.
Spoil ourselves.
We love some room service.
If there's room service, I will do it.
And guys, you know, in
down.
this like pandemic, post-pandemic world, room service
safer.
Well, I was about to say it's not offered as much. Remember?
But it's safer. I don't know why it's not. It's true. In fact, places that we've gone to previously that did have room service
don't do it anymore.
Then we've attended again. Nope, they don't got it.
It's so frustrating. I'm like,
Crazy.
But you used to do that, and it was nice.
Yeah, but that's like
even Frightmare.
I stand room service.
Yeah. Oh, love room service.
So if that is a thing, then for sure tonight we're going to enjoy room service. Probably hop down in that hot tub, get ourselves our first dips.
Nothing better than watching a shitty movie on the hotel TV and just eating like fries and cheesecake and
If
whatever.
we're lucky, they're doing that new mirroring thing that a lot of hotels are doing. And you can mirror like your own Hulu or your own Netflix account onto. There's so many hotels doing that now. So maybe that will be the thing at this Westin.
Maybe.
And I hope so. I hope so. But we'll see. It's like it's on
No, I
all
said
your
let's
Let's
mirror.
Mirror. I thought you asked what is it, and I was like that kind of admission doesn't need to be made on the podcast.
I know what's
Save
that.
it for later. Okay, yeah. So we've got panels. If you've heard one of our Frightmare episodes before,
we like to refer to them anally.
as pananals. Then there's Saturday night scary.
Sometimes we're desperate for a joke, okay? We'll turn
And we
panel
just-
into P-anal.
and panals, but it's anal. Okay, karaoke.
Oh, I love karaoke.
Well-
That can be really fun. It can be either really fun or really like, okay, let's go after 10 minutes.
We'll do a drive-by for sure.
Remember
And
the time we saw Roach from People on the Stairs just like partying?
yes,
That was so
sometimes it happens. Remember, we missed iconic moment of David Arquette.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he
Because-
came into karaoke after we left one night. But he
pulled
wasn't
a
there when we were
karaoke.
there.
Yeah, we were there. We were there for. I remember the next morning seeing that and thinking, but we were there for like a while,
Yeah,
and he did not show up. So he's like a true night owl.
yeah.
Okay, and photo ops. That's what we're looking for. That's like our schedule. That's what we're doing. We got the pananals. We got photo ops. We've got karaoke. We got Halloween in
It's
Haddonfield.
gonna be so fun. It's one of my favorite weekends of the year.
We're excited to see Felissa Rose. Who are you excited to see?
Oh, everybody. Of course, John Carpenter and Felissa, Melissa. You know, we
Felissa
love
Melissa.
Felissa, Melissa since like day one or episode 2. We've been proclaiming our love
I
for
love her.
Felissa
She's
Melissa.
incredible, amazing.
And
that woman does no wrong.
We've met her a few times at these conventions.
Enjoy
She's
her.
always like the most darling, nice,
No, we're
sweet
probably
person
going to
ever.
see her again.
Yeah.
Like, I'm probably going to want to get. We also part of the swag bag is we get a little autograph for freezies. Not that, but we're going to be redeeming it, and we've got autographs to get. But Felissa is a for sure.
She's a sure thing.
She's a sure thing.
Yeah,
That's
she's
my homegirl.
she's a staple at the conventions, and I can see why people love to see her. She's great.
But there's a few from the crowd of Sleepaway Cast that we're excited to see. We'll definitely do a lot of drive-bys of other.
Yeah, we'll like stock tables, just like keep walking around them, just to
Like,
look
what
at
are they
them
up to?
again.
Or
Or
we
like
see
we just
Sam Raimi.
we also just run. Yeah, Sam Raimi, of course. We've met him before, so we're probably not going to get a picture and stuff with him.
No, but just walking by and seeing
Yes.
little Sam Raimi. Like he's just a little short
so
guy,
friendly
but he's
and
such a
nice.
sweet man, and what a wonderful repertoire he has.
Evil Dead's the Spider-Man 1 and 2. I know he did 3, but 1 and 2 are
Our
like 2 of the
incredible
best
Drag Me to Hell.
superhero movies.
Yeah, now
Drag
he's
Me to
done
Hell.
the
Doctor
Strange,
Strange.
yeah, multiverse.
He's still kicking ass,
He's
y'all.
still kicking ass.
It's going to be amazing. I'm just excited to be immersed in nothing but horror for the next couple of days. Just seeing all the merch, all the people and costumes and celebrities. And, you know, sometimes I'm hoping this hotel, like, themes out, like, the Dallas-Fort Worth
Oh my
one
God,
did.
yes. It's always so fun to walk in and have it all decorated.
So I don't know
Yeah.
if that will be the same since it's over in the convention. You know, it's not the same.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just kind of what the feel and the vibe is. It's always so like people watching 100%. Like love seeing people doing their cosplay, all the costumes, just seeing what people are wearing. I love all that.
Yeah, I'm excited. We're, of course, getting stuck in some Dallas traffic, so we're trying to get down there.
It wouldn't be Dallas without the traffic.
We're really only going to get there with like an hour and a half to spare until we got to get checked in, get our bags, get there. We like to be there in the line when they're like, hands up, where they're wanting to see the bracelets
Yeah.
to make sure you really are
We'll
VIP
be cutting
going
it
in.
close, but we're gonna get
Yeah,
there
we're gonna
in
get to it.
time.
I have that anxious energy right now. I'm
He
like,
does.
oh my god.
You are. You're anxious energy, man. We'll get all settled in, and of course we're gonna report back. And you guys just hang tight and listen to Bad Athlete, Scream Queens, and we'll be right back. Okay.
Shaking inside. I'm not the kind to run and hide. Come out, I'll take you all on my own. I've got you figured out. Tough luck, you're in my world now. I have no doubt, I have no fear. I'm gonna make you disappear. We are the Scream Queens, running through the night.
And we're back. Hi guys.
Oh, we're back.
It's always that post-depression or post-convention depression, and it's hitting hard, y'all.
Yeah, we've crossed over into Oklahoma. We're not in Texas anymore. We've left that all behind and left behind an amazing Frightmare experience.
Yes, it was really great. It always is, and this one was almost one of the best. It was a new location, and we really enjoyed it. We were worried, as we were telling you guys before, but it ended up being kind of perfect.
Yeah, I'm worried, or just a lot of things were up in the air. We just didn't know what it was all going to look like and how close proximity-wise everything was going to be, but it ended up being a dream.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. It felt a little more spacious than it was at the Hyatt Regency. They had kind of outgrown that space, and this one has room to grow even there. Like if they want to add some stuff, we saw some rooms that weren't being used in the area, but so it has even more potential for the future. But our hotel was fantastic. It was almost connected to the convention center, but not. There just needed to be like a little breezeway or something, or
Like a skywalk.
yeah, and then it would have been even better because it was raining one time. We had to run in the rain.
Oh my God.
I almost melted.
And it was like pouring, so we had to kind of wait for a moment with that because there was an expanse where you had to like run out in the elements, and I've got the bangs right now, you know?
But
I can't be playing those games.
we're happy to report we did have some elevator run-ins.
Yes.
Most of the celebrities, I believe, were staying in our hotel.
Yes. And it was a beautiful hotel.
Oh yeah.
Wonderful service.
Great pool, hot
Lots of
tub.
opportunity.
Smelled
space.
really good.
Yeah.
Too. You walked in and this just like clean linen smell like hit you in the face. I
And
liked it.
it was also just like really clean. There was a lot of hand sanitizer stations out and about, so I felt health and safety protected, you know. But yeah, I guess let's just start with we checked in. We checked into room 1128 and found out that we were going to have a bird's eye view of the pool hot tub situation, so we could kind of always like keep an eye on the just how busy it was. And
Do we
if
want to
it
go
was-
in now
yeah.
because there's a million people down there or whatever?
And it was a hoppin' hot tub.
Yeah, Saturday we couldn't get in at all. It was just packed all day. But we also had a really nice view of downtown Dallas. You could see
Yes.
Dallas. The whole convention area is like this strip in Irving. There's like the Toyota Music Center, so there's like venues in that area. They have lots of restaurants and
Yeah,
shopping.
totally
and-
walkable.
yeah, it was so cool just being able to walk everywhere from the convention.
We
And
had
you-
so many places to eat.
Yes, and that's usually a problem at Frightmare is there's not a lot of eating options when you're stuck at the airport. There might be a restaurant, and then they have just like, your convention food.
Yeah, concessions,
Yes.
foods, and I mean they had some wonderful looking white queso and chips, but We didn't grab that at their concession stand at the convention center.
And they
it
had
looked yummy.
like food trucks out there for people.
Mhm.
They did have like the concession stand and like, you know, other little things. Like there was a nut stand. We went and got
hot
we got
nuts!
some hot nuts.
We got hot nuts! We got hot nuts, and they were delicioso.
Yes, from
Muy
the Nutty
delicioso.
Bavarian.
The Nutty Bavarian can be nut in every convention.
That's right. They better.
They better be there. And then there was this tea like vendor who like you bought a cup and it was
yeah.
refillable like all day, and so we got that because who doesn't like, and they also had diet root beer, which is kind of hard to find.
Yeah, we love a root beer.
I love a root beer, and I love something even more when it doesn't have any calories. So
Yeah.
we
Me too.
got ourselves a Pecos Pete cup and filled it up regularly.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, they just had like more amenities, more opportunities in that little area for like if you want to leave the convention, you can go do something else kind of fun too.
And it was on like different floors, so it definitely felt more spaced out. And then they had all the vendors in one consolidated area, and then in the back were a lot of the photo or what am I trying to say? Autographs,
Stands,
like autograph
yeah,
row.
yes, where you get your autographs and meet the celebrities.
And then the next floor was like just for John Carpenter.
Yeah.
And that's where you would like get your picture taken with him.
And it was like a whole process to get a picture with him. I mean, us, since we went VIP, we had it a little easier. We got like a chance to put our name in a lotto. And then that lotto guaranteed we got to see John Carpenter or get his signature. It just told us what day we could get in his line and what time. And so ours on the lotto was Sunday at like, what was it, 10 a.m.? Yeah, 10 to 12.
It was from 10 to 12, yeah. And we were out, it was a good hour and like 15 minutes.
Yeah, and we got out there at like 9:30, 9:15, I can't remember how early, and waited in the VIP line before we got to go up and wait in his line, just because the lines for him were just out the door. Everybody else had to get in a line for kind of a similar thing to like line up for a virtual ticket, and then they got the virtual ticket and then got to go get in his line. But he was so busy that just because you got in his line didn't really mean you got a signature from him.
Yeah, every day there were cutoff times, so you know they get closed at 7 on Saturday, and if you weren't, I don't know, John Carpenter had a lot to do. He was booked up, and he, you know, it was just kind of sad to read sometimes that it was like, oh, I waited in the line, but I didn't get to have my signature. Okay, so we get all checked in, and we get our wristbands, our VIP swag bags, and we take a really good look because we have an hour before general admission. So we take a good look at all the merch and secure a Terrifier t-shirt that we loved.
Yes.
And grabbed ourselves some other like merch that we wanted.
And we found the Terrifier shirts within a half hour, and they were nearly already sold out. So they didn't bring very many, because I actually wanted the shirt Justine got, but I had to get a different one, and then not even in my size, because I had to get it in a larger size because they were already just running out. And I mean, their booth I'm sure was popular, but I could tell it was because they just didn't bring enough. Because when it's open to the VIPs at first, there's not that many people in the room. You know?
No. Yeah.
So I was like, what, did you bring like 5 shirts of each or something?
Of each size, because
Or
we
less.
We were lucky because they were like official, like
Yes.
Terrifier shirts.
We got
so.
little pins. We just wanted to be all, you know, merched out for our photo.
For the photo that we were going to take, and what else did we do on Friday? We kind of just got our bearings and
Met Barbara
took a lot
Steele.
it took a lot of time to figure out what we wanted to do. Snagged a Barbara Steele photo op, and so we kind of already got a little opportunity to see how they were going to be weaving us like through the lines to get into these photo sessions. And Barbara, let's just talk about Barbara.
Oh, she's still fierce, serving little hat energy.
Little hat energy every day. On the side, you know, the hat was like tilted. She was so sassy and snazzy.
She's like, I worked with Fellini.
I am fucking fierce, everyone.
But no, she was great. We had heard like she doesn't really talk, she can't really hear, so she, yada yada. So it was brief. It was fun though. Like we kind of mimicked her pose with her, and she's just like looking at me like, huh? Like in the photo, it's pretty funny.
Like, who are you? Yeah, she was a darling, a dear.
Yeah, I mean, she's a legend, She's been around for a long time. The Roger Corman movies, Mario Bava, Fellini.
She's in a lot of Giallo.
Mm-hmm.
She's been around. Okay, guys, check her out. Black
Yeah.
Sunday. You won't regret it.
You won't. There's no regrets.
Yeah, definitely no regrets for that. So we got our little Barbara Steele. We had ourselves like lots of drinkies. Guys, we
partied hard
Friday, we tried to prove that we could still hold our own at Frightmare on a Friday. I don't know what we were trying to prove.
Yeah, well, we weren't really trying to prove anything. We were just like in the moment, excited. It's a lot of like just fun energy. We knew we were gonna see like friends that we've made there, and that that we were gonna start taking these photos and seeing celebrities, and sometimes there's a little liquid courage.
We were definitely
not that we needed
heavy on the
we
libations.
Yeah, we had fun. It was a grand time until the morning.
Yeah, the morning to oh my god. Okay, but yeah, so we kind of like capped off the night though by going in the hot tub, having our first hot tub experience.
Yes. And then I got a random text from an old roommate from college that was in town. I was like, "Hey, where are you?" And so he met us in the bar, and we had another drink or two.
Yeah, and we had a lot to drink that night. But yeah, we met your friend. It was your first roommate.
Yeah, one of my
from
first
Cali.
roommates in California.
So that was great. And then the next morning, it was a slow crawl downstairs.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Holly got some breakfast room service because we were just like, can't do anything right now.
I could barely manage to like rotate my body over from the left to the right side. Like it was a journey.
But we got ourselves together.
Yes.
We got it together. We hydrated. We
hydrated up a lot.
Did our skincare routine.
Yeah, we tried to depuff.
We got our Terrifier outfits on. We look cute.
Yeah, we took time for ourselves that morning and just made sure that we were delicate with each other because we tore up the floor the night before. Oh, but you know what we didn't do, guys? We didn't go to the party because we were too drunk to party.
Well, it's almost like we forgot. Our friend came and they were just like, let's go. I don't know. We just crashed out.
We didn't acknowledge it like at all. Like the next morning we were like, oops.
Oh, we didn't go to the party.
But we partied hard.
Yeah.
And what's funny is kind of like reflecting back, like we were downstairs that whole evening, we were in the pool or we were in the hot tub, we were at the bar at that Mezcal restaurant.
Yeah.
And there were tons of people in there. So there were a lot of people that forgot about the party.
Yeah.
Halloween Haddonfield party, I don't know how successful it was.
Yeah, I don't know.
And given that you had to like walk across, and I know like that sounds like Justine, walk across the street is not that big of a deal, but when you are already all tucked in and settled at the hotel or you're there, partying there, thinking about, I gotta go walk over, and then you go up the stairs. There's this big escalator at the convention center, and you have to take it up like multiple escalators.
If you've ever been to Universal Studios in Hollywood, it will remind you of the outdoor escalators there that are so tall and steep and almost kind of frightening.
Because they're in the hills.
The first level to the second floor, I think it was, the escalator was very reminiscent of that.
And it was long. It was like a long escalator ride up, and we had 4 different stories to go to.
It was a really cool layout.
Yes.
For sure.
And the convention center itself, like, I'd like to look it up and see about, like, the architecture because it was giving certain vibes.
It's
of,
like wrapped in a cage.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
But the, like, hard, just like, it looked like the jaggedness of it almost, the structure of it. It was just serving a certain vibe. And we were there for it all night.
Right.
All night, all day, all afternoon, all deering like the dawn. Okay, so we started doing panels. We went to the Fire Walk With Me panel.
Woo!
A lot of these were like celebratory of like 40 years or more panels.
Yeah, I think this one would have been 30 because I think the show was 91 through like 93, something like that. Maybe even 1990.
Yeah, so this one was like the wee baby of the group.
But it was really cool. Twin Peaks is one of my all-time favorite shows. Like, it's like top 5 favorite shows for me. I even bought a shirt the day before at one of the tables, and I have other Twin Peaks shirts. I love Twin Peaks, love David Lynch, so it was cool getting to see Ray Wise and Sherilyn Fenn and the guy that plays Sergeant Andy or Deputy Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Can't think of the actor's name. They were all up there talking, having fun. Ray Wise was just like
he
cracking
was.
jokes, being hilarious, serenading the audience.
He was hilarity, and I loved all of them were doing like Q&A opportunities. So there were some good questions that were being asked.
Yeah.
They weren't like surface level. A lot of people were getting deep or kind of like finding Easter eggs and pulling them out.
Yeah, I will say the panel questions were better this year. Sometimes they can be, like when they open it up to the audience, sometimes the questions can be kind of cringe, or you're like, oh, really, this is what you think everybody wants to hear an answer to this? Or like, you know what I mean? Kind of like, don't waste our time, buddy.
They were more thoughtful.
Yeah, they were really good this time.
Yeah.
The panels were great this year. They always are. It's always one of my favorite things. It's just to sit there all day listening to, your heroes or, these horror icons talk about their experiences.
Well, and it's all behind the scenes, and you're just getting a different context to something that you love and enjoy so much, we also get to hear how they felt about acting for that part, or where that role took them in their now 30 years, 40 years. The Halloween reunion they had was 45 years. So it's reflecting back on all of that, and that's kind of fun to listen to, because they all love being there.
Yeah.
Everybody's so appreciative of just the opportunity to be in a room with like-minded people. So it's really cool, all the panels.
And even hearing that Halloween is the 45th anniversary, it's I can remember when H2O came out, and it was 20 years. So being God, it was 25 years since H2O.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's scary.
45 years.
Yeah.
So PJ Souls and Nancy Loomis were doing the 45 years Halloween panel.
Yes, and we've seen them at several Frightmares. They're kind of like a staple. Their booths are always busy. People love seeing them, because they're pretty awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. PJ Souls is great. She's been in so much. Carrie, Rock and Roll High School,
Halloween.
Course. Yeah. That's the given part.
She's been in just some iconic movies for sure.
But there was, even though Charles Cypher was there signing, he didn't make it to the panel. He just wasn't feeling well.
Yeah, I was gonna stick to his table or something.
But the next panel was another big celebration, 40 years of Christine, and it was the kind of
the bullies.
The bully gang.
Yeah.
The threesome that meets their demise by Christine.
Yeah, I like that movie a lot, like we were saying earlier, so it was cool seeing them. One of them's Silver Fox, the little buff
Oh my
daddy.
God, Josh was dripping over this guy.
No,
drool was coming, his shirt had collected so much
I think you're
saliva.
projecting. I think this is what you were doing.
My shirt got wet. Seeing this guy, he was tall drink of water. Well,
Definitely
not even
daddy
tall.
energy. No, he wasn't tall.
But he was a brawny drink of water.
Yeah. But that was cool hearing stories, hearing a lot of the behind the scenes of Christine. They used 21 cars, which made me laugh on the inside because at Oklahoma City HorrorCon, we got in Christine, and they failed to mention there were 21 of them.
Well, I guess, though, half of them, or more than half of them, were destroyed.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's true. He did say they destroyed a lot of them filming that movie.
And we saw one of the bullies, Steve Tash, we saw him in the elevator.
That's right. Like our first day, he was one of our elevator sightings.
Mhm.
We also saw Pepper from
American Horror Story, yeah,
Freak Show.
Naomi Grossman.
And she was upset about something, or recounting a story. We couldn't
Yes.
tell if it was something that was happening now, or she was like recounting something that had happened maybe at another convention, because it was kind of too early and we could never figure out what she was talking about.
Yeah.
She was upset about being put in a park or something, and we're like, a park?
Yeah, and that definitely was not the case, like, at the convention. She was on Autograph Row, so...
It must have been she was just recounting a story to this guy about the last convention, and maybe even kind of apologizing, like, hey, because it was almost like she was being apologetic, like,
Yeah, she was like,
it's just
usually
like-
I'm not like that.
she's like, but I've also just never been out in the middle of a park before, you
Yeah.
know, like, we were like, what is going on?
So funny. It's just like, ooh, the little snippet that we were hearing.
Yeah.
It was juicy details.
It was
We were
juicy.
getting the tea. We were getting that tea, but we didn't know.
We don't know what the tea was.
We didn't have the cup, so the tea
Yeah.
was being poured, and we
It
were
was
like,
spilling everywhere, but
cup in our hands.
we weren't catching it.
Okay, but the main event, the reason for Saturday's panel,
The reason for the season.
the master of horror, John Carpenter, and he did not disappoint.
He's
Not at all.
So funny. He's like, has this whole like crotchety vibe, but still kind of sweet at the same time. He kept telling people like, no fluff, stop telling me I'm great. You know, like anytime people be like, hey, I just want to say, you know, like you changed my life.
Yeah,
like,
you're
you know, all that stuff. He'd be like,
amazing.
stop it, no fluff. Just get to
Yeah.
your question. I don't want any fluff. Like, so,
But in a
that-
kind
yeah,
way.
in a kind way. He wasn't being a dick.
Yeah.
But
And he kind of prefaced the Q&A
With
by
no fluff,
saying,
guys,
I don't
just-
want you to fluff me.
yeah.
Just, you know, I want your questions. Like, I want us to have this time together and get through as many questions as we can. So if you are standing up there pontificating about how great he is,
Yeah.
you know, like, and you're not getting to your question, you're kind of taking up space.
Yeah,
for
and
someone
kind of
else.
wasting other people's time by
Yeah.
telling your life story to a bunch of people that don't care.
Yeah, or it's kind of like,
You
yeah,
know,
dude,
like,
we're all
the same.
similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you don't have to explain it to this room how you fell in love with him. We got you there.
Yeah, just get to your question so we get
Yeah.
to the juice. I want to hear your cool question and answer. You know?
And but yeah, no disappointment at all. I mean, he shared insightful like little tidbits of like more about composing. I thought he talked a lot about the music of his movies, and maybe it was because that question came up quite a bit. But that's just something that I don't usually hear.
I liked the little snippet where he was talking about how his dad taught him 3/4. No, it wasn't
5/4.
5/4 time.
Yeah, the dun,
on the
dun, dun, dun.
bongos, and that's basically what that is. And he was like, "Oh, I can take that bongo rhythm and I'll play it on the piano."
Yes. So
So-
that's incredible. He talked about
Yeah.
his dad being just really influential, and in his house always having music.
How his
And-
dad would always tell him, create, you got to create something, I don't care what it is, a painting or write something or,
Mhm.
you know, make some music, but you got to be doing something.
Yeah, if you're going to be here on this planet, be creative.
Yeah.
Which is a wonderful message.
And he was.
And he was, and still is.
Thank God for his pappy.
And he still is because he mentioned upcoming projects that were coming out.
Yeah, I think-
a TV show that he
Yes.
helped.
He filmed over where in Romania or something, but he was on his couch. He said, I directed from my couch in LA or something.
Yeah, which that's just kind of incredible to know that he's still active. And he mentioned another one of his like horror themed albums that they're going to have another one. I think it's like the 4th installment. I kind of forget. But it's like horror themes that never actually existed.
Mhm.
And but if you're a fan of that, guess what? There's a 4th one coming out, and we heard that. Moving on to any last insightful things you want to share about John Carpenter before we dip into our Terrifier photo op?
I guess he's a huge basketball fan. Everyone, of course,
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
to like pal around with him, and be like, "Hey, what'd you think about the Lakers?" You know, or just
the
whatever.
Celtics and Game 7. Is there going to be a Game 7 or
And we'd have to hear like ball talk for a few minutes.
Yeah. Even the moderator was like, "Yay, it's sports ball!"
Yeah,
like
he's-
that's not not
Yeah.
our wheelhouse over here, guys.
Get to the horror question.
But yeah, so that was really fun, and we have more to talk about with John Carpenter.
Oh, yeah,
because
more to
we have
come.
another day. But now we are getting into our second photo opportunity, but the first one of this day of Saturday. We had one each day.
Yeah, we did one photo op each day is how our
and that was
schedule
nice.
turned out.
That was not overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because the lines are long.
Yeah, they can be long, but I felt like they went so smoothly this time, and even like the John Carpenter one that was packed, it was just going. Like, it was very cattle call. Like, you go in, you get maybe 5 seconds by the guy, and then it's like out.
It's not an intimate time.
No, you can't be asking questions, trying to talk or have a moment during the photos. It's literally like, hi, take a picture. You might be able to say like, thanks for being here, or whatever.
No handshakes, none of that. That's at the table. Go to the table. But we got to briefly see the Terrifier duo team, Damien and Leon and David Howard Thornton, but he was Art the Clown.
Yeah, he was in his Art the Clown makeup, and it was so cool. And he had his little squeaker, what do you call that?
that bike horn.
Yeah, his little bike horn and his little hat, and he was like chewing up the scene. You're like, giving everybody a great photo op, and Damon is so nice.
Yeah. Oh, he's our boyfriend.
He's a new boyfriend.
He's your husband.
He's like from Staten Island.
Oh my gosh. Well, he
was so sincere.
Yeah, he was like, he was genuine, and really kind, and
we'll talk about it at the panel.
Yeah.
There was like people crying at the panel.
Like it was
like
a
therapy
moment.
session.
Yeah, it was kind of incredible, that panel, but we'll get to it. So yeah, I took the picture with them. I loved being in the line and seeing people's costumes. There were a lot of people that, or not a lot of people, there were a lot of just Art the Clowns or the girl.
Sienna.
The
girl clown.
Yeah, the girl clown. There were a couple Siennas, but man, that costume is hard to pull off.
Yeah,
like,
they even said that in the panel.
fierce.
Like, yeah.
But there was a girl that came full Sienna, like, warrior costume, and girl fire slayed the whole weekend with that look. And they called her out in it too in the Terrifier panel.
Yeah.
And that would have been a cool photo op for her to be in that full outfit and have Art the Clown. Like,
we had our cute shirts and pins on.
we had a cute look.
And they had a fun backdrop. It was like blood splatter, basically, all behind us. Because usually it's like just this red background.
Yeah, but it was like a white farmhouse, but it was like splattered with red, blood. So that was fun. We did that, and then we were like famished because breakfast, honestly, guys, it ended up kind of being womp womp for room service.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's
cool they brought,
that's us sounding super privileged, but it just didn't fill us up, and we ended up not really eating most of it.
Yeah.
And you guys all know, you think when you wake up and you had a lot to drink that you're going to be like so hungry, and it's a good idea in the moment, and then it shows up and it's like, God, I'm gonna barf.
I can't really eat all this. It had gotten the Continental. Remember, that was the joke.
Yeah.
Where's my? And they left half.
Guys,
they didn't bring me my breakfast.
Yeah.
So there was all this phone talk, and then we were laughing the
Half
whole
the
time,
breakfast.
like, where is my Continental?
Yeah, we had to make it a joke because then we really had to act like pompous about everything. So they didn't end up bringing half of Josh's Continental breakfast.
They just brought me fruit.
No lie, guys. They just brought him a piece of like toast and fruit, and it was supposed to be full-on continental breakfast.
Yeah, I was supposed to get a muffin and a
croissant and fruit and juice and coffee.
Yeah, I did get coffee. That was nice.
Yeah. Okay. But they didn't. So then we had to act like while we were waiting for the other half to get there, we had to be like, where's your Continental?
My Continental.
Not his Continental.
What happened to my Continental?
His Continental was ruined. Okay, we digress. So anyways, we were famished by that point, so we had to go grab ourselves a couple burrito bowls, and that's what we're talking about, guys. There was so much food to choose from.
You could just like walk down the street, barely walk down the street. I'm not even
hop, skip, and jump.
Talking like a few hundred feet, and you could have sushi, tacos, pizza.
Within 800 feet, there was 10 restaurants. to
Yeah.
choose from,
Yeah.
and the Alamo Draft House.
And then they had the food trucks outside,
It
plus the
was
concessions
incredible.
and stuff on the inside.
Yeah,
The food situation was 10 times better than it's ever been at Frightmare
100
because of that and the location.
But we grab ourselves a couple of burrito bowls, and we thought that we were going to like get our burrito bowls, go back, be super queen bays, get by the pool, lay out poolside, you know, get some tan going on.
No.
Well, that didn't happen.
No, that pool was,
That was
full.
everybody's idea.
There's not one like little chair to claim to sit on,
No.
you know, or to put your stuff at.
We just like decided, okay, well, I guess we'll start making drinks, and which was fine because we had a couple of drinks in the room, and then went down for that. It was a cool panel, and it was hosted, or it was the
Hosted by
moderator was
Chester.
it was Chester Moore. Is that his
Yes,
name?
I think so.
And he has a podcast as well, Dark Outdoors. But he was talking about a series of murders that have happened. They're calling them the Ladybird Lake deaths, and taking place in Texas, but kind of connecting them in a broader way to smiley face killings.
Yeah.
It kind of felt a little bit like a TED Talk, but or like somebody who like was writing their dissertation and they were having to give like a
Yeah.
PowerPoint, sans PowerPoint.
It was entertaining until he kind of got to like the churchy
Yeah.
talk, or talking about like his mission work and how
That made me
it got a little
uncomfortable.
preachy for
Yeah.
a minute, and then
I
then
was
it
like,
turned,
what?
which I don't care what your views are, but
Yeah.
it just became like then it turned into like a weird like pro-gun, arm
saving-
yourself.
Yeah, saving yourself from
thing.
sex trafficking.
Yeah, it just kind of
With-
got a little bizarre.
Yeah, with
At
prayers
a
and
point.
bullets. And
Yeah,
like,
it just
it's
kind of
all-
like, we just
yeah.
came for like the creepy serial killer story.
It's just like also not really on brand for Frightmare.
yeah.
So I was like, okay, this guy's using his platform in in a pretty like selfish way right now.
Yeah.
Like nobody wants to hear that. If we want to go to church, we'll wake up in the morning and do that. But guess what? We were already at church. I was at worship. I was worshiping all weekend long. I stand the horror religion.
Yep.
So we were there. That's what we were
Yep.
doing. Yep.
Hallelujah.
So we did that and walked around a little bit more. We cruised every day down on that first convention floor.
Yeah, I definitely spent less on autographs and more on like merch. I got a bunch of shirts and Blu-rays and.
Oh, chat a moment about your Mondo poster.
Oh, I did score. Since we're VIP, we get in early, and those Mondo posters, they usually have what, like 5 or 6 on display. Every once in a while, they'll even have like an exclusive to the.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm not sure if ours was an exclusive to Frightmare or not, but they have what, maybe 40 of each poster or less. I don't know the numbers.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how many prints they made, but
Yeah, some of them sell
not a
out
lot.
like first night.
yeah.
Is what I'm getting at. So while we were in there, I saw this incredible Lost Boys poster. Had to get it. It's like hot pink and yellow and blue. Like the colors on it are really cool, and it's like an upside down poster.
They look like
Also,
bats, but it's the
mhm.
Lost Boy. It's cool. It's like legit, and I love the very like just kind of California colors
Yeah.
of it. They really pop on that.
Mondo always knocks it out of the park.
You'll have to take a picture of your poster, and then in the YouTube that you make of
Yeah.
this, like slap it on there so everybody can
Mhm.
see it.
I will.
Okay, as long as you're listening. Okay, we got signatures from the Terrifier duo. We went and got some autographs.
And we utilized our VIP skip, line
Yes.
skip on our bracelet to get the David Howard Thornton. I always want to say like one of the names, like call him Howard David Thornton or whatever. But we used that to skip his line, and we got his autograph really quick. You could still even see the white on his face from earlier in the day, like he had
Oh yeah, the makeup. Yeah.
gotten it all off.
I was like, sweetie, let me give you my beauty wipes. Because whomever's you got, that's not working. But I bet you that makeup paint is thick.
Oh, I bet.
Like paint, almost.
Yeah.
Like how thick it's got to be on his face.
Mhm. And we also got Damien's autograph as well.
Oh my God,
Sometimes
yeah.
I just never know what to say. I'm always just like, love your movie.
Yeah,
love
which,
your movies.
you know, he's just super, like, kind.
Yeah, it's like,
and
oh, thanks. You know, like,
little
yeah.
genuine little spirit inside him. And we also got to utilize, because part of our swag bag, we get these $40 voucher, like,
Yes,
for
that's
an
right.
autographs. So you can use it just to get, like, a free, you know, I mean, everybody's cost is different. Like, their price for an autograph, or if you want to get, like, an autograph selfie combo, you can do that, but the prices all just kind of differ. But you can use this coupon to redeem to get another
Yeah.
autograph you really want.
Sorry, guys, we're on a really rough
And I was
road,
trying
like,
to talk through that. And
we're it's some, like, construction zone, and it's loud. Pardon.
yeah, pardon our work.
But it
My
can't be-
daddy works here.
It can't be helped. And that reminds me, that's a quote from Return to Oz that me and Justine like to say all the time. She's like, sorry, TikTok, it can't be helped.
It can't be helped. And then
but
last
to-
thing.
But to tie that in, we saw a really great Return to Oz cosplay. Someone was dressed as the Gnome King, and it was awesome. If Gnome King, you're listening, great costume.
If Gnome King, you're listening. So we went and got some pizza afterwards and called it a night.
Yeah,
because
we
were
again
tired.
skipped the main party. We didn't go to karaoke. We let you guys down this year. We just
Did we?
no.
We
Well,
didn't
I
let
mean,
them
if
down.
they were wanting to hear about the party or karaoke, we
Yeah.
did.
Well, yeah. We just ended up not being able to make it due to situation.
Well, the situation is we went back to the hotel. I need to go to the bathroom. By the time I go to the bathroom, Justine's
Oh,
laying
so you're
in bed.
calling me out right now in front of
Uh-huh.
everyone?
Yep. You decided to, like, crawl in bed and be like, I'm tired now.
No, hardly. Like, we both had been, like, yawning and exhibiting, like, signs of tiredness to each other prior to me slipping in the sheets. I kept my clothes
You
on.
did.
I left it open-ended, but I got
ended up
cozy.
agreeing and just being like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
let's get refreshed. And we needed that after, like, our crazy Friday night. You know, I was a little sluggish all day, so getting, like, some good sleep and waking up refreshed for another day was perfect. Because Sunday ended up being my favorite day. I mean, every day was great, but Sunday there's some, like, magic in the air that day.
Oh, and we definitely needed our rest
Mhm.
because we were gonna. The first thing was John. But we had to get up early because we had that 10 to 12 window with him for the autograph.
Yes.
And we have that line to contend with. So we were like, yeah, we got to get our beauty sleep because mamas are going to have to wake up at 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I did a little deep puffing mask on my face.
Yes, he did. I did my little caffeine solution under my eyes. Like, we were trying to make it point on the face.
We wore our Haddonfield sweatshirts that we were telling you guys about. We look cute. You can see our picture later.
Yes, we'll pop those up. We each put, like, our hands up
Like
side
we-
by side with John.
Yeah, we were almost like presenting him. I don't really know what we were doing, but we thought it would be cute.
And also so the line queue and everything for the autograph, it goes, like, pretty fast given that you are still waiting. Like, but
Yeah.
at least you have, like, time frames for waiting.
And that was really cool because we did have to wait in that line for a little bit outside, but luckily we were under a tree, so the sun wasn't beating down on us too bad.
Yeah.
And then we had to go get upstairs into another line. But it was all kind of moving, going fast. Everything felt, God, this road. I'm like, are you kidding me? And now
Everything
semi. Yeah.
Keep going.
Everything felt very well structured, like they knew what they were doing, a well-oiled machine. So I can't complain of that aspect at all.
No. And they were just both iconic moments for us. Like, we got to chat with him and tell him we were best friends.
Yeah, he was like, you two together? I was like, no, just best friends. And
Yeah, Josh had to clear it up.
Well, and I had actually, because you are allowed to take a picture of him signing, and I was trying to, like, get my picture, and I accidentally hit the video. So I do have a video of him saying, like, oh, best friends, okay.
It's funny.
And so I threw that up on our Instagram. Maybe we'll do, like, one of those, what's it called? Like, when you save, like, a whole collection of stories on your Instagram.
Oh, yeah, we'll do a highlight.
A highlight,
yeah.
yes.
We're going to highlight that shit for show.
Yes. Maybe I'll make a TikTok of Frightmare this year.
A tiki-talkie?
A tiki-talkie.
A tiki-talkie.
Haven't made one of those in a while.
But after we did our John Carpenter stuff, we had to have ourselves a little bit of lunch, and that we hit up one of the food trucks that was out there. Had ourselves some chicken teriyaki bowls.
It was yummy. Rice, a little bit of noodles, a bunch of veggies,
Oh my
chicken.
God. It was like really good.
Yeah, I love the addition of the food trucks out there. There was never like long lines for them either, but people were going and eating there. But
Yes.
it wasn't like crazy, you know how it can be. Like
How it all just got broken up, it just gave so many different options. So there weren't a lot of lines for food.
yeah,
That was great. Because when we were ready to eat, we hungry.
yeah,
We hungry.
yeah. Sometimes we wait until we're like hungry, and then we're like, you know, like why we need it now.
What's the shortest line we just can't deal with? Okay, so we grabbed ourselves some lunch and went up, and we had a series of panels to attend.
And they were really good panels. These were like John Carpenter's the day before was great. I mean, all the panels are
Yeah.
always good. I'm not complaining or anything. I'm just saying like something about these next two panels were really special.
Yeah, we sat in on the last half of the Alex Winter panel. Even sat like a little off to the side so we could eat our food.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of annoyed that there were so many people just like front row, like chomping away. So we had to sit over on the side and eat our food. But then it was time for 40 years of sleepaway camp.
Yes, and it was Judy, it was Meg, it was what's Felicia's character's name of the movie?
Angela.
Oh my God, her name just wouldn't pop in. I got Ricky wasn't. No, it wasn't
No,
Ricky.
Ricky
it
wasn't
was
there.
her brother. Not her brother. Yeah, her. No, it's her cousin in
Uh-huh.
the show. He was there, and then the other guy, the other kid. It was like the two kids,
The two kids.
the two boys.
Two little bros.
Did you know there's some
Yeah.
like older guys, like you know more older teenagers. There's like the two younger teenage boys.
And it was like a fabulous panel. At one point, they pulled up this like 5-year-old, and his name was Zane. But it was cute because I guess like earlier in the day, or maybe the day before, that little boy had gone up and like he'd already seen Sleepaway Camp, and had like a favorite scene and just kind of shared. It was adorable. So they called him up. And then he stayed up there for the rest of the panel.
So there's this little 5-year-old just sitting up there with him. I mean, they were making jokes, and when things would kind of get a little baudy, one of the guys like went covered his ears, and everyone was laughing.
Well, yeah, because it's sleepaway camp, so they were making tons of dick jokes.
Well, yeah, and it's like if you're gonna bring a 5-year-old like to a sleepaway camp panel, like
Yeah, it's
you're
happening.
gonna have to be cool because
Yeah.
you can't expect them to censor themselves because you brought your kid.
Because you brought your child.
Yeah.
That's not how it works at Frightmare. And curse
we
words.
love kids. We're just saying
Yeah.
though, if you're gonna take them to Frightmare and take them to the sleepaway camp panel, expect to hear about dicks. a
Yeah,
lot.
it's adult everything.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Love kids. Bring them if you need to or if you have to, but they're probably gonna hear about dicks. That whole like panel was incredible. Learning about each one of them and what they've been doing for the last 40 years. Learning about the character Judy, her life and her impact now on being an ally, being a part of the LGBTQ community.
Yeah, she works for the Trevor Project. Does a lot of volunteer work and work for them. Her son is transgendered, and so she does a lot of advocacy work and, you know, walks in the parades, does all that kind of stuff. And so they were talking all about that and how that connection with like sleepaway camp is special.
Yeah.
She's actually like a hoot in real life, Judy.
Oh my
What
God!
is her
What a
real name?
ham.
Karen. Like her real name is Karen something.
Yeah, Karen something, and then did I write it
She
down?
looked fabulous the whole time, like cute little lady.
I did. Oh, of course.
And I don't mean little lady like she's old. I
No.
mean like because she's little.
She's
like,
tiny in frame. Yeah. Okay, 40 years of sleepaway camp, tons of dick talk, and then it was.
Oh, we all sang happy birthday to Felissa.
Yes.
It was her birthday.
Yes, and all weekend they were celebrating
Yeah.
at her table.
It was
Yay
cool.
for her!
Yeah.
It's like every day 1,000 people telling you happy birthday.
And she wasn't there Friday because one of her kids graduated high school, and so like she literally flew in after the graduation just to be there with everybody. She was like, I couldn't miss seeing my friends and seeing all you guys. And she's one of those like sweethearts. If you ever get a chance to meet her at a convention, go see Felissa Rose.
Oh, you would not be disappointed at all.
You'll leave thinking she's your new best friend.
Yeah, actually, you'll leave the table feeling so lighthearted and she just has such a wonderful, like literal impact on your day.
Yeah.
When you talk to her, or if you're in a panel after that, you're like, Felissa, you just kind of like made my day. You're just an amazing little creature. Love you. And then the next was we went, and that's how we found out that it was raining, because we went to go freshen up.
Yes.
And I was like, are you fucking serious? I can't ruin my bangs for the Terrifier 2 panel. But we needed to go get our beers because we had a 6-pack that we were like, we always love to like take beers into the panels and just have them in like my bag, and we're just the cool people pulling out beers and popping them.
Yeah.
And
I would try to wait until people were applauding or something to like crack the can.
yeah, or laughing. So it's not obvious because we didn't bring enough for everyone else.
Yeah, and it was just the two of them, Damien and David, and
Yeah.
it was one of the best Frightmare panels ever.
Ever.
Like, we got so much insight into like the making of it. You know, it was real guerrilla and the indie filmmaking. They even talked like we had no idea it was even going to get into the theaters. We thought it might end up on Netflix or Shudder or something like the first one did. And like, you know, even that made a big impact when the first one was on Shudder. Everybody was talking about Terrifier.
Yeah.
We watched it. We became fans. I mean, typically these kind of movies aren't our thing. Like, I'm not. I do like some gore. That's not what I'm saying. But when it kind of leans to like maybe more mean-spirited, or it feels a little mean-spirited, or where it's just about people getting ripped apart.
Yeah, it's driven by the gore.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or like torture porn's not
Yes.
my favorite, but something about these movies have a real charm and a sense of humor about it. It's, even though things can feel dark and mean-spirited, there's still like a friendliness to it, if that makes any sense.
There's an approachability to Art the Clown.
And then hearing them talk and stuff, and we've heard them before, but something about this panel, like, they really are just super nice guys.
Oh yeah, and really supportive of each other, and each other's individual craft. And being like kind of not driven by their own selfish, motivations. Like, David came into Terrifier and it had already been established by another a previous like person who acted in that role,
and he had been waiting tables for 13 years, just happened to go in for this audition, or it was one of the many auditions he'd probably gone to.
And we even got to hear that audition story. These panels are just like so insightful in ways that you don't know going in what you're going to hear, but it's probably going to be very like authentic and kind of once in a lifetime. They're not like heavily generated in every other panel that they go to every other con. They're not having the same conversation in the panels.
Right. And they were talking about, too, just how hard it was to make Terrifier 2, how they would have to stop for, like, a week at a time because Damien was doing all the special effects and doing a lot of the, like, everything, and he would need, like, a week off to, like, make the effects or make the sets or whatever they were doing. So, talking about just, like, how much time it took to make the movie, and yeah, it was really fun. And it kind of ended at first, was like, oh God, this is what we're going to end the Frightmare on. Some guy stood up and kind of gave a really personal story.
It was a lot heavy.
Yeah, it was very, it was about like a suicide attempt and yada yada. Don't want to get too into it. But then David shared, a really emotional story about his mom dying and all this stuff that had gone wrong in his life at one point. And, he was crying. Damien's hugging him. Like, it was a big moment. The audience is crying.
It
felt
tearful.
special. It felt like, oh, he's letting us in right now. He knows this is a safe space. That everybody in here is here with a sense of gratitude and with a sense of like camaraderie with them, and like we're rooting for them.
Somebody even or a few people even kind of yelling in the audience, like, thank you for sharing, kind of just to make sure, like, hey, it's like great, like it's good.
Yeah, when he was getting choked up and crying, people were even screaming like, love you, things like that.
So he could get through it because he certainly wanted to share, but as he's like crying, you realize like, oh, this is gonna be a big moment.
Yeah,
Like,
and for like a packed auditorium, it was a very intimate moment.
yeah.
It was really cool to be a part of that.
And then they went right after that panel right back to giving autographs because
Yeah.
we also took a little last look after the Terrifier panel. Went around, took a little last look.
That's always like the sad thing we do to ourselves. Well, no one. It's also part like we can't let go.
Uh-huh.
Like we're like, no, let's go walk around, make sure we didn't miss anything. I did buy one more DVD set or Blu-ray set.
Yeah, so we, it was worth it.
And yeah, just kind of walk around, see everything one last time. And they did announce that Frightmare will probably be a few weeks earlier next year, so I think it might be back on track. Maybe this will be a May episode, so that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Get it?
next year it would. Yeah, and how we think we've added it all up is that if it does occur at the beginning of May next year, then that will be our podcast's 100th episode.
So that'd be kind of cool. We always love. I think it just that makes sense. Our horror podcast, or our 100th episode is about this iconic
like horror
convention and all
yeah.
and talking about all these people we see. And
so we shall see when they release the dates of Frightmare, but hopefully it will be.
Yeah, we got to keep our fingers crossed that we can still get that VIP and the hotels we want, because it's intense. I'm sitting there at the computer the second, the hour changes that we're allowed to get it, trying to rush, and those things sell out within 2-3 minutes. It's crazy.
It's so stressful. I hold my breath until I get the text message that it's a thumbs up or a check mark. I'm like, oh
yeah,
God.
it's always very nerve-wracking. So keep us in your thoughts and prayers. No.
And that usually happens in August. So if you really do want to keep us in your thoughts and prayers and vibes, then just be vibing for us around that time.
I'm choking.
Well, we got all choked up too after we left and ran up to the room, grabbed a bottle of wine that I had brought in, and had a bottle while the sky cried.
Yeah, it was pouring down rain. We sat outside on these couches. It was really nice. Just reminisced about the time we had. We saw a couple more friends while we were sitting out there. We saw Proud Jedi, and we saw Josh Jakar.
Yes, yeah.
Shout out. Hey, guys.
Yeah, we ran into them. I always love seeing everybody.
I know, and if you're listening and you were there and we didn't see you, we even mentioned that might be the only con about it being in different hotels is there were some people that I would see their pictures, but then we never run into them.
Yeah.
So there were some friends we didn't get to see.
Yeah, they were definitely staying at the other hotels then, and due to our situation, we didn't play board game because we had situation.
Yeah, we usually will go downstairs, play games, try to get people to play with us.
But we were playing, we were being cray, and we'd be playing.
We weren't very social. We didn't. Maybe that's too why we didn't see friends. We didn't go to the party or karaoke, so might not just have been the hotel.
Yeah, we kind of only socialized when we were at the con, and if we saw out and about. There were so many restaurants to go to in that strip. It all just really broke it up. Gave you a lot of options, but also that limited your involvement and engagement with other people to a certain extent.
But it was fantastic as always. It's always sad when it's over. You think back, it's such a whirlwind. You start on Friday and you feel like, oh, we've got 3 days of this, and then it's whoop, gone. And it's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday fly by, and everything you've been anticipating and maybe even having anxiety about, especially the tickets for John Carpenter. Everything was so close, and you're always running around like a chicken with your head cut off trying to get in the right line, or just your nervous energy at that time. Is everything gonna go okay? And
you're not wanting to ruin someone else's moment and all this stuff, so there's just a certain amount of awareness that you're having while you're there of I don't want to step in someone's picture. I don't want to talk over someone's opportunity to share whatever, but it's so much fun.
It's amazing.
And you blink and it's over.
It's gone.
Yeah. And we, of course, can't let go. So then last night we went to the Alamo Draft House and watched The Little Mermaid. We love tying in horror and Disney.
Yeah, and Ursula's one of the best villains of all time. Melissa McCarthy did a great job.
It was a fun time.
Yeah, it was good. The Alamo Draft House is the best theater chain in the U.S. for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't say the world because I haven't been to. I don't know when I go to another country, I don't really go to the movies, you know?
Yeah, I hadn't
Doing other
haven't stepped
things.
into a theater. So we, just had some appetizers and drinks and watched Little Mermaid and then skedaddled back and woke up this morning and had more hot tub time.
Yes, thank God. And it was not packed. There was almost no one there. When we got to our car, it was pretty funny after the convention. This packed parking garage now had like my car in it on our level, on the third level anyways. It was just kind of like, oh wow, yeah, everyone's gone.
Everybody was here for a specific reason and now they're
Mhm.
gone. And it's Monday, Memorial Day, so it's, people are now having their Memorial Day celebrations. And we stopped off at our favorite like coffee spot in Dallas, Halcyon Coffee, and it's like full on like bar and eatery, but we always are there in the morning times.
Mhm.
So we had ourselves a spot of brekkie and some yummy ass cold brew. They have amazing coffee, hot and cold, but we love a cold brew.
Yes, for sure.
And then we, it's Texas, so we've got to stop and get gas at Buc-ee's.
Yeah, I got some gas, got some candied almonds and some little nuggets that we haven't opened yet because we've been talking to you and you want to be munching and crunching.
Munching and crunching.
But yeah, you gotta stop at a Buc-ee's when you drive by one. It's like gas station on crack on it was something else even worse
Oh
than
my
crack.
God,
I
yeah.
don't know.
It's like the just, it's the Walmart super center of Buc-ee's or of gas stations.
It's like as
you know?
big
It's
as
like-
a grocery store.
Yeah. It's insanity. But you have to go. And it's one of those things like it's just a state thing. When you're in Texas, you have to go to Buc-ee's, you have to go to the Alma Draft House, and
Yeah.
we have to go to Halcyon Coffee.
That's right. And we will be back next month with The Exorcist 3.
Yes, we are going to traverse like crazy to the East Coast.
Yeah, we're going to spend time again in Georgetown. If you guys remember our Exorcist episode, we went to the Exorcist house and the Exorcist steps. We're just going to go have a day in Georgetown. We'll see those things again, but we're also going to go to... There's like just a lot of cute shit to do in Georgetown. It's basically an excuse for us just to go have a day in a really cool neighborhood in D.C. and see some of the sights from the movie. I know there's like the hospital and the college and
Yes.
things like that. But
Definitely tie all that in.
oh yeah,
But
so
a day in Georgetown?
a day in Georgetown. I can't wait.
And we'll, probably have to go see a couple of... We'll just drive by some sites in D.C.
Yeah, and I'll also give you another little summer preview. Right now, the plan is for our August episode is gonna be Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and we're going to Hershey Park and gonna do the tour of the Hershey Factory.
Oh my God, it's gonna be amazing. Yeah, so we'll go to Hershey Park, Pennsylvania for that, and just have a grand old time. Just taking some summer trips.
Woohoo!
So we will catch you then, and that will be episode 90 that
Yeah.
we are doing Exorcist 3.
That's right.
So
And
hope you've enjoyed this.
Don't forget to give us that 5-star. Give us a little review. It would really help us out. Always does. Find us on all the socials. You can find us anywhere.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.